Welcome to our yin and meditation practice. So this class goes a little over an hour for a time of meditation at the end of class. And so for our yin practice, I just wanted to remind you all that we're going to be holding positions for longer periods of time. So just be mindful that you're comfortable if that involves having blocks nearby or maybe stacked books, a blanket, maybe some pillows or a bolster. Just be sure to have everything ready. And we'll get started today. If you have blocks, we'll get started in a supported fish pose. So you're going to want to align your blocks in a T-shaped position, either on the lowest level, or I sometimes like the mid-level, and you'll want to make sure that they're both for the same height for the head and for the chest area. What you're going to do then is come and lie your upper back on the first block, and then the other is going to support your head. So you might have to adjust the positioning so that it feels good, and then your knees are going to go apart, falling open in a diamond-shaped position, hands on either side of the body, and you're just going to open the chest here. So this is really great to release any tension in the front of the chest. And so you can just relax here if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can come down on your back and draw the knees open, soles of the feet together, and still come in that diamond-shaped position, and still draw your shoulder blades behind the back, opening up through the chest. Of course, the blocks just really help to open that up a little bit more. As the birds welcome us, I also invite you to start to soften your body here. Start to land on your mat, letting go of any worries or stresses that you may have for the remainder of the day, any to-do list, and just let that go. We're here for our practice, for ourselves. And so allow yourself to just be at peace here in the present moment, starting to tune in with your body, tuning in with your breath, noticing how your mental body's doing, how your emotional body's doing, acknowledging whatever's in your space right now, creating space for it to come forward. And then letting it all go. And just do a body scan here from head to toe and soften the areas of tension in the body. So you'll want to quiet the mind enough so that you can pay attention to how your body's feeling. This is also a really beautiful heart opener if you're using your blocks to support your chest in your fish pose. As you open the chest, you're also opening up your heart chakra. And so wherever you're at, even if you're using the blocks or if you're not using the blocks, we're going to start encouraging emotions of the heart now. So drawing forward an emotion for our practice today on the love spectrum, whether you want to work with gratitude or peace or equanimity. Maybe you want to practice forgiveness or letting go. Making space for these emotions to start being cultivated in your heart. And as you work with whatever emotion you're choosing today, start to feel it opening up and spiraling in your heart center. So you can imagine as though either, if you're familiar with the chakras, that spiral of energy is opening up, front and back, behind the chest. Or you can also envision a beautiful yellow rose opening up. So you can imagine a tight bud of the rose. And then as you open your heart chakra, that bud just opens up and starts to imbue your entire body with this beautiful, loving emotion. And just notice how that feels like in the body. Notice if you can feel that opening happening. And then set an intention now for your practice. So whether you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something, you can set that now. And we're going to take 3 more breaths here. And then I'd like to encourage everyone to bring one hand over your belly, or you can bring both hands over your belly if it's comfortable. And we're going to start to deepen our breath now. So on your next inhale, breathe into the belly and feel your hands rising with the breath. Allow the breath to move up the rib cage towards the collarbone. And then see if you can hold the breath at the top of the inhale. And then slowly soften the chest down as you exhale through the nose. And the belly comes down last as you release all the air from your belly. Hold at the end of the exhale. And then take another breath in through the nose. Expand the belly up. Feel your hands rising with the breath. And then allow the breath to move up the rib cage towards the collarbone. Hold at the top of the breath. And then slowly release the air from the lungs, starting at the top of the lung. And then slowly working your way down. The belly comes down last. Hold at the end of the exhale once again and continue with this deep belly breath throughout your practice today. Really allowing your breath to guide you and to help you soften through our yin practice. And so on your next inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up overhead wherever you're at, whether you're using blocks or not. And you're going to interlace your hands and press the palms away from the head. Nice release here through the chest. Take one more inhale here with the hands overhead. And then on the exhale, release the interlace and bring the hands out towards the hips. And we're just going to move like this as though you're making imaginary snow angels. So inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, moving nice and slow and merging that movement with the breath. palms facing up. Exhale, the hands come down back towards the sides of your hips. Moving, inhale and exhale. And as you do these little snow angels, you're going to notice that there are certain parts of the movement that feel a little bit stickier than the rest. And so just keep an eye out for where those spots of tension are, because in 2 or 3 more breaths, we're going to hold those areas, just to allow a deeper opening to occur. And so wherever those points of tension are, you're going to go and find that area, and you're just going to allow your arms to rest out there. And then go ahead, find a different area to focus on and hold it there. Making sure that you're not holding or bringing tension to the face, so just soften your face. Soften the neck and shoulders. And then find another spot that's holding tension and hold it there once again. And use your breath to help soften and ease the tension in these areas. Noticing any emotions that may arise as you hold this position. And then find a new spot, one last spot to focus on. Take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly release the hands to come to support the outer edges of your knees, and then bring the knees back up. Separate the feet hip width apart, and then drop the knees to touch. Take just a few breaths here. And then if you're in your supported fish pose and using the blocks, you're just going to bring one hand over to the side, and then you're going to roll off the blocks really nice and gently, and then you're going to move the blocks away from underneath you. If you're not using blocks, just hold your diamond shaped position, hold the positioning with your knees in towards each other. We're all going to meet on our backs now. And then slowly hug the knees in towards the chest. You can rock side to side, doing whatever feels good here. Okay, so lower the feet back down. If you're using blocks for your practice, we're going to pick up the hips and come into a bridge pose. And we're going to be holding our bridge pose for a little bit here. So
place the block at whatever height feels good for you and lower your hips down on the block, and you want to make sure that you're just below the sacrum or just in the middle part of your sacrum. So just before the tailbone arise. And so you can stay here with your knees bent, or you can extend the legs out in front of you. It's really important that you don't feel any severe pinching in this pose. So if it does pinch, don't extend the legs, just keep the knees bent. Or if there's still pinching at whatever height you're experiencing, then remove the block or set it to a lower position. Now, if you're not using a block, you're just going to focus on drawing one knee in towards your chest, lying on your back. And what we're trying to do here is release the hip flexor. So you're going to kick out your right heel and draw the left knee in tightly towards the chest. So wherever you're working at, find that comfortable position to rest in. Open your arms out to the side. Opening up through the chest. If you're being supported by the blocks below you, really try to soften through the hip flexors, relax through the glutes, release any tension in the hip area. And if you're not using the block, keep drawing that left knee in towards your chest and kicking out through that right heel simultaneously to get that nice stretch through the right hip flexor. And so this yin yoga is very passive. So once you've found your positioning, allow yourself to just melt either into the ground or into your block. And let that be the work, just allowing yourself to melt down and soften. And then bring your awareness back onto the breath. See if you can lengthen your breath even more. Maybe you want to start working more intentionally with your breath and softening the body with every exhale as you work on getting into a deeper and deeper state of relaxation. And then resist any urges to move or fidget around once you've found your positioning. And work on strengthening the mind to resist those urges, because they'll come inevitably. If you have a hair on your face and you want to move it, or see if you can work through just being okay with wherever you're at. And so as we hold this, we'll be here for a few minutes. So with yin yoga, you always want to hold things a little bit longer than normal to really give your muscles the time to release and relax. And so find comfort in quiet, peace and tranquility. Work on your breath. And then if you're pulling your left knee in towards your chest, I'm going to let you know when to switch. And so just continuously draw that left knee in towards the chest and kick that right heel away from the mat. If you're drawing your left knee in towards your chest, just slowly extend that left leg back out, and then hug your right knee in towards the chest. Simultaneously, as you draw your right knee to the chest, you're going to kick out through that left heel. And with every exhale, see if you can slowly integrate that right knee closer towards the chest. If you're using your blocks at this point, maybe you want to deepen into the stretch, and maybe you want to try going up a height on the blocks, or maybe you want to try extending your legs out. Just listening to your body and finding whatever works for you. We're going to be here for about 3 more minutes, so find a comfortable position or stay where you're at. That's completely fine too. If you've recently just transitioned to a different leg, or if you've gone up a level in your stretch, be sure to make sure that you're softening through the face, shoulders, and neck, and that you're not drawing additional tension to other parts of the body as you try to release in one area. So just do a quick body scan, make sure that you're not holding tension in the upper chest, neck, head, or face. Let that go. And then bring your awareness back internally. Resist the urge to move or fidget around. And just soften down once again. Take 3 more long, deep breaths here. If you're in a position with the blocks, slowly walk your feet back towards the hips, towards the blocks. Engage your core, and then slowly tuck your tailbone under and then pick up the hips. You're going to want to move the block away from underneath the hips now and slowly lower your hips back down onto the mat, moving 1 vertebra at a time. Going nice and slowly, and then just holding it there. with the knees bent, you can separate your feet as wide as your mat and just allow the knees to fall in towards each other as you reset your spine. So it's always really important when you have this kind of stretch throughout the spine, or when you're working with the spine, that you take the time to really soften and come back to a neutral position. So just breathe here nice and quietly. If you're holding your right knee in towards your chest, extend both of your legs out and just find that neutral spine as well. This really lets your nervous system integrate whatever it is we've just worked on as well. So as you continue to rest here with your knees together, or if your legs are extended, just notice that integration process. Notice if your body naturally wants to tense back up, and see if you can resist that urge and soften into the body instead, into the mat instead. And so you're the driver here. So you have that present awareness to notice, okay, I'm tensing up my shoulders, let me soften that. Or my low back is trying to tense up, let me see if I can intentionally soften that area. And take 3 more long deep breaths here. And then wherever you're at, slowly draw your knees in towards your chest. Pull your knees in nice and closely here. And then just rock side to side. And then with ease, we're going to come over to one side and make our way up in a seated position. You bring along your blocks if you have them, or if you have some sort of a pillow or something else that you can support yourself in this pose, bring that along. And then we're going to create a nice wide diamond shaped position with our legs once again. And then from that position, you're going to want to move the skin away from your sits bones. And then find a nice tall spine, and we're going to fold over our legs here. So you're going to come down. If you have a pillow, you can support your chest that way. If you have a block, you can support your chest with the block. If you have 2 blocks, you can support your head as well. And you're just going to rest here in a forward fold over the legs, wherever you're at. And once again, allow this pose to be really passive, really soft and opening. And we're going to hold this position for a little bit. You'll have the option to deepen into the stretch again in just a few moments. But we're just going to start off really nice and comfortably. And then shut the eyes down once again. Soften the neck. Soften the jaw, soften the face. Relax through the hips and the glutes and low back. Kind of getting in a counter stretch here from our previous stretch. And then once you've found your position, resist the urge to move or fidget around. Just allow yourself to find comfort and stillness. And if you're feeling really comfortable in this pose and you want to deepen your stretch, you're also more than welcome to wrap your hands underneath your shins or ankles, and this will naturally draw your chest closer towards your legs. And so you can still remain pretty passive in this pose, and you can still use a block to support your forehead and head, but that's also an option for you if you'd like. So we'll be here for a few moments, so shut down the eyes and tune inwards. Find your breath.
If you'd like to deepen into the stretch at this time, you're welcome to do so by working with your blocks, or if you want to deepen the stretch in other ways, you're welcome to do that now. We're here for a few more breaths. Take about 5 more breaths now. Really softening through the body. And when you're ready, slowly make your way back to a seated position, moving the blocks away from you. And then coming into a cross-legged position, stand nice and tall. Draw your chest through the arms with a little bit of cat-cow here. Exhale, round through the spine. And then find that neutral position once again. We're going to bring our left hand to our right knee. Our right hand's going to come behind in the center of our back to help lengthen and support our spine. And on the exhale, you're just going to twist over to the right, gazing over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Both hands on the knees, lengthen on the inhale, draw your chest through the arms, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, looking in towards your belly button, separating the shoulder blades. Then come back to that neutral spine. The right hand comes to our left knee now. Left hand comes to the center of our back. Lengthen on the inhale, twist and look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Okay, from here we're going to get into another hip opener. So this is a really great one. It's called cow face pose, and the way that you're going to get into it is you're going to start off in a tabletop position. Now bring a block or books with you to help support you if you need it. From here you're just going to get into your tabletop position, and you're going to cross your right knee over the left. And then you're going to draw the knees in towards each other and separate the feet nice and wide. And keep your block close by because you're going to sit back. And you want to make sure that both of your hip bones are grounded into the mat. You'll notice that depending how tight your hips are, one of your hip bones one of your sits bones might have a harder time to ground down. So there's two ways to remedy this. The first is to help it out by drawing the skin away from the right sits bones, and maybe that'll help balance things out. Or if you're feeling a lot of pinching, you're going to want to prop your hips up. So you're either going to want to sit on a block, and you'll just do that by bringing your hands forward and lifting your bum so that you can place a block or books underneath you, and that elevation should help to ease the tension away from the hips so that you can sit nice and comfortably. So just find that positioning for yourself. Sit nice and tall. And then maybe you're just going to hang out here with your eyes shut. Or maybe you want to draw your chest forward a little bit if you're feeling up for it, if your body has the space to do that. But wherever you are, make sure that you're softening through the face, soften the forehead, soften the eyes, relax the jaw. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And just allow yourself to find comfort here. Really working on drawing that awareness to your hips and low back and to your glutes, and try to see if you can intentionally soften those areas more and more with every breath. 5 more long, deep breaths here. Maybe deepening into the stretch slightly. Then slowly start to come out of this pose. We're going to grab hold of our left knee and foot, and we're just going to move it off the side. Same thing with our right leg, moving nice and slowly and with ease. You're going to move that right leg. Bring your hands behind you and then lift the block away from underneath you if you have it, and then come into the same position. We're just going to separate our feet nice and wide, and we're going to windshield wiper our knees from one side to the other. Holding for a moment to help recalibrate everything, and then shifting over to the other side. Over to the left once again, and then shift to the right once again. Come back to your tabletop position. This time we're going to be crossing our left knee behind the right, once again opening up our feet nice and wide, and then coming to sit down. And so it's super common that one side of your body is a little bit tighter, so you'll want to adjust here, placing a block if you need it, to make sure that your sits bones are nice and supported. And then once again, you're just going to shut down the eyes and settle into your pose. Moving the skin from underneath the right sits bones to help you ground down. And then shut down the eyes once more, settling into this pose. Drawing your focus and awareness to your low back, your hips and glutes. Making sure that you're not holding tension in the neck, shoulders, forehead, the jaw. Soften everything up. And then once again, resisting those urges to move or fidget around once you've found your positioning. And just working with the mind, working on softening the body, resisting those urges to fidget. Because you'll notice that the mind always wants to be active, and so you kind of have to train it to quiet down and to do what you want it to do. At this point, you can start to deepen into the stretch if you'd like. Maybe seeing if you've opened up a little bit more. Always making sure that that right hip bone is grounded into the mat. And we're here for a few more moments. Take about 5 more long, deep breaths here. Once you're ready, slowly come out of the pose, moving your right leg out of the way first, bringing your hands behind you, left leg comes back, maybe coming off that block. Making your way into this position with your feet nice and wide. Once again, we're going to soften the hips by shifting your knees over to one side. Moving nice and slowly, taking a moment here to just allow the knees to fall open, and then slowly making your way to the other side. And then once again, shifting over. And then one final time. Stretch your feet out in front of you. We're just going to quickly fold over our legs. And then our left hand is going to come over to our right knee, right hand behind us. Little moment twist. Over to the center, right hand to our left knee, left hand behind us, twist over to the left. And then we're going to settle into our meditation now. So grab a sip of water if you'd like, grab a block if you want to use that as your prop to sit comfortably. I really like to meditate sometimes with a block in between my knees so that I can sit back. I find that really comfortable. Otherwise, you can sit cross-legged. And we're going to meet now wherever you're at, with our eyes shut, settling into our meditation. Your palms can be down on the thighs. That's a more grounding position to be in. If you're looking to gain maybe insights, or if you want to be more open with your energy, your palms can face up towards the sky. That's a little bit more of a receptive pose. So whatever you're feeling, wherever you want to be, slowly draw the shoulders up and down, moving the shoulders away from the ears, allowing them to drop down and get heavy. And I want you to just take a moment and notice your spine alignment. I'm just making any adjustments there. Oftentimes I find we just need to draw our head back slightly and then reach the crown of the head a little higher. That'll give you a really nice lift. But you also want this to be comfortable and easy when you're in your meditation. So you don't want to actively be forcefully drawing your spine nice and perfectly in alignment, but you just want to find that balance between steadiness and ease. And so once you've found that nice equilibrium with the spine, allow your elbows to get nice and heavy. And we're just going to start by drawing our awareness inwards, grounding ourselves down, and we're going to do that today by just focusing our awareness on the natural rhythm of our breath. So you're going to bring your awareness to your nostrils. And your job is just to focus on feeling the inhalation and exhalation of the breath. So maybe that feels like cool air moving in and out of the nose. Maybe you feel a slight tingle as you exhale and the breath touches your upper lip. But just bring your awareness to the center of the nostrils, whatever sensations you feel there. And if you catch yourself and your mind wandering off from this task of focusing on the breath and on the nostrils, then just bring your awareness back to that point once you've caught yourself drifting off. And so this is just going to help strengthen your mind to focus on one thing. So don't be hard on yourself if you catch yourself coming off of the breath. Just always bring it back. Acknowledge that you've maybe allowed the mind to go off course and bring the breath back. Nice and simple exercise, but you'll notice that it really does help to strengthen your mind. And so take a few moments here just noticing the natural rhythm of your breath and focusing your awareness on the nostrils. as you continue to focus your awareness on the natural breath and of the area of the nostrils, start to see if you can feel a little bit more grounded in the body. So as you inhale, focus on the breath, and then with the help of your exhale, see if you can ground your energy into the body. And you'll do this by feeling into your body. So you can find a point that you want to ground your energy into, whether it be in the hands or the legs, or maybe you want to ground down through the sits bones. But just bring your focus and your awareness into the body. And this active drawing of your awareness inside the body, feeling what your hands feel like. Bring your awareness to your feet and feel into your feet. Feel into your thighs. Feel into your chest. Feel into your entire body. Bringing your awareness into the body actually helps to ground you down. Because a lot of the times when we're feeling ungrounded, it's because our minds are floating up. We're floating outside of our body. And so ground your intention into the body, into your physicality. And you'll start to maybe even feel a little heavier as you do this. You'll start to feel a little bit more connected to the body, connected to your breath, and connected to the earth. And so grounding down is really just being connected to your body. It's as simple as that. But sometimes we just need that extra focus to draw ourselves inwards. So now that we're nice and grounded in our bodies, start to bring your awareness to your heart. Begin imagining that rosebud tightly closed, slowly beginning to open up once more as we work on this visualization exercise. And start to cultivate warm, loving emotions in your heart. And as that rosebud opens up, you can feel those beautiful warm energies working throughout your entire body, wrapping you in this warm glow of self-love. And you're actually starting to fuel each of your cells and filling them with this loving emotion. So you can feel your energy body starting to wake up and starting to magnify this loving emotion. Maybe you start to feel tingling throughout the body, or maybe it's in your hands or a part of the face. Wherever you're feeling this tingling, see if you can start to magnify that sensation by grounding down into the body and then feeling into these emotions and then sending those energies out around you. So you're actively pushing this energy, creating that vortex of love all around you. Maybe you can even start to visualize that beautiful rosebud now nice and open, sending energy out through the heart and then creating some sort of a energetic egg all around your body. Creating a beautiful energy around you for the rest of the day. Continue to bring and cultivate this loving emotion from your heart space outwards around you. And then if you choose, you can send some of this loving energy out to your friends and family, people in your community, people in your country, and even people around the world who you think might benefit from this loving energy today. And it's when we connect with our hearts that we are always reminded of how connected we actually are with one another. And it's from this heart-centered place where we find that deeper connection. And so knowing that you have the capability of creating this energy from scratch, anytime that you need it, whether you're having a bad day, you can tune inwards, ground down, connect with your heart, send that energy around you, and you'll notice how easy it actually is to change your perception and to actually start to channel your energy in a way that benefits you, regardless of what outside circumstances are bringing to you. You always have the chance to tune inwards and change your perception about things. And so start to draw your hands in front of the heart, taking a moment to cultivate gratitude for all the blessings that we share. And then we'll join the knuckles of our thumbs to our forehead. And together, as we close off our yoga practice today, we'll bow forward to say namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me on the mat for this beautiful yin yoga practice. I hope that your hips are feeling great and that your hearts are nice and opened. And as always, I'm sending you all so much love and light your way. I'll catch you in class next week. Bye, guys.